Good afternoon, friends. Let us dive into a new case law which is in the syllabus of Advocate on Record Examination of Supreme Court of India. The case law is Singhal versus Union of India 2015. Singhal is a law student who filed a writ petition challenging the constitutionality of Section 66A, arguing that it violated the right to freedom of speech and expression and the right to equality under Articles 19(1)A and 14. So, in this case, the Honorable Supreme Court gave a landmark judgment that struck down Section 66A of the Information Technology Act 2K and said it is unconstitutional. The case was pivotal in affirming the freedom of speech and expression granted under Article 19(1)A of the Indian Constitution. Now coming to what the Section 66A of the Information Technology Act says. Section 66A criminalized sending any information that was grossly offensive or had menacing character via electronic communication, punishable by imprisonment up to 3 years and a fine. The provision was widely criticized for its vague and broad terms, leading to misuse and arbitrary arrests. Now, I will share one of the incidents which led to this case, filing a writ petition under this case. In 2012, two young women were arrested in Maharashtra under Section 66A for posting and liking a Facebook comment. Facebook comment was criticizing a bandh after a political leader's death. So, liking a posting on Facebook put two women under arrest under this Section 66A. So this incident, amongst others, highlighted the arbitrary application of the law and led to widespread outrage. So, key issues before the Honorable Court were die the Section 66A imposes unreasonable restrictions on the freedom of speech and expression under Article 19(1)A. Second was is the language of Section 66A is too vague, making it susceptible to misuse. Third was, is it comes under the reasonable restrictions? Does the Section 66A fall within the permissible grounds for restricting freedom of speech under Article 19 subclause 2? The provisions are under 19 subclause 2, just as public order, decency, or morality. Fourth one issue was, does the provision creates a chilling effect on free speech, deterring individuals from expressing themselves freely? So chilling effect was also there. The Honorable Supreme Court gave its observation. First, the court emphasized the importance of freedom of speech as a cornerstone of democracy and held that any restriction on this right must fall strictly within the ambit of Article 19.2. The term grossly offensive and menacing character in Section 66A were deemed vague and subjective, leading to potential misuse by authorities. The court noted that vague laws create uncertainty and arbitrariness, violating Article 14, equality before law. Overbreadth of Section 66A. The provision criminalized speech that might not necessarily incite violence or harm public order, making it disproportionate and beyond the regional restrictions permissible under Article 19, subclause 2. The court observed that the fear of prosecution under such a vague and broad provision could deter people from exercising their right to free speech, undermining democratic principles. So it admitted that it is having chilling effect. And the court further held that restrictions imposed by Section 66A were disproportionate to the intended purpose of maintaining public order or preventing harm. So, in its judgment, Honorable Supreme Court struck down, declared Section 66A unconstitutional for being violative of Article 19, subclause 1A and not saved by Article 19, subclause 2. The court upheld the validity of other provisions such as Section 69A and 79 of the IT Act. As these two were challenged, but the Honorable Court held these provisions to be valid one. What the Section 69A is, it provides for blocking access to information online, what includes procedural safeguards. Section 79 deals with intermediary liability, which was interpreted to mean that intermediaries must act only after receiving a court order or government directives. Now, coming to the significance of this judgment. The judgment reaffirmed the primacy of freedom of speech and expression in India's democratic framework. It also provided safeguard against misuse. By striking down Section 66A, the court prevented its misuse for arbitrary arrests and suppression of dissent. Chilling effect doctrine too was diluted. The recognition of the chilling effect on free speech set a precedent for evaluating laws that have an indirect impact on fundamental rights. Now, this case highlighted the role of judiciary in safeguarding constitutional rights against overreach by legislature or executive. So, after this judgment, there was criticism too. There has been reports of Section 66A being invoked by law enforcement due to lack of awareness or deliberate misuse. In spite of this judgment, this act being used and the person were being booked afterward to either due to deliberate misuse or lack of awareness. The absence of replacement law addressing online abuse and cybercrime left a regulatory gap in dealing with genuine threats and offences on digital platforms. So this Shreya Singhal versus Union of India case, we can say a landmark in Indian constitutional jurisprudence, strengthening the right to free speech and setting a high bar for the validity of laws that seek to restrict it. It remains a cornerstone case for evaluating the balance between free expression and reasonable restriction in the digital age. So, this is all about this case. Thank you for cooperating with me. Please grab a cup of tea and be settled before listening to this video so that you may take note of the explanation of Article 19, 1A and also 19.2. That's all. Thank you.